How do you start a business with low investment? Well, this is a topic close to my heart and mind because when I was very young, 20, 21 years old, I really wanted to have a business of my own. I didn't want to be in corporate America, but I didn't have any money either. So how did I do that? How did I get started? Well, the way that I found is to educate yourself, to learn something useful that you can do for other people, or educate yourself on how to get into deals and let other people in on deals that you find in exchange for them investing your money. The core to this is you become the person that is worthy of attracting capital, worthy of attracting attention, and that's how you do it without your own money, because many, many people in this world have started from virtually nothing and become very wealthy and very secure, and you can do it too. So let's talk about some specifics. So the way that I first started, first thing that I did when I was actually just out of college, I bought a franchise called College Pro Painters. It was very inexpensive, didn't cost a lot, a couple $1,000 is all it cost. And that was my first venture. I loved that franchise because I learned the fundamentals of business. I learned that business really is about attracting customers by advertising in an effective, low-cost way, converting those prospective customers into customers, pricing it right so I made some money, and then delivering the service with excellence. And that really is the fundamentals of all business. So you may not want to buy a franchise because they can be expensive, but what else can you do? Well, one thing you can do is just offer your services across some of the online platforms. You can do Upwork or Fiverr. There are two platforms that you can offer virtually any service that you can do remotely for other people, and they'll pay you for it. For example, people offer bookkeeping services, copywriting services, research services, voiceover services, cartooning services. It goes on and on and on. You'll see if you go to either of those sites, Fiverr or Upwork, people offer literally hundreds and hundreds of services. And what happens is the platform brings you customers. You then make a proposal. The customers that accept it, you do the work, and you get paid automatically through the platform. This can be a really nice sort of side hustle-y type of thing. This isn't really the kind of thing where you're going to build a big business out of it. I'm supposing some people have figured that out, but I don't think it's really the way to do it because you'd be paying too much for your lead generation, meaning too much to get those customers. But that being said, it can be a good sort of low-risk way to get started because you're just offering a service. It doesn't cost anything for you to join Fiverr or Upwork as a contractor, and you can then get started that way. I also like some of the new businesses that are coming these days, which are the digital and online businesses. So these are things like selling things on Amazon, selling coaching services, selling services of virtually any kind online, and also selling things online. There are also things you can do marketing things online, and it's not the traditional thing you might think of where you have to buy like a container from China and spend $30,000 for a container and the goods that are in it. No, there are things you can do now where you're doing on-demand things. Like think about the print-on-demand business where people can make hats. Maybe there was a championship game where your team just won the championship. You can have hats made on demand where people can order it. You could have something that had the score of the game up and for sale 2 minutes after that game ends if you know how to do that business. Or you could say, world champions, my llamas are the world champions. You can do that and sell it because there are what are called print-on-demand services where there are companies that you get an order, that order goes direct to the print-on-demand company. They print it, they ship it and fulfill it and send it to the customer. And what you do is you collect the money. You get the money from the customer, you pay the print-on-demand company for their work, and then you get the spread. It's really neat what you can do with this. That is very, very low investment. Now for that kind of thing, you're going to be marketing on Amazon, marketing on eBay, things like that. So there are things to learn about that. Be a really nice, simple, again, more of a side hustle type of business, but can be very good. You can also do more what I did. What I did early in my career is I became an expert at real estate. And I did that by taking a course, and I actually bought a coaching program from someone who taught me the ins and outs of buying properties at tax deed auctions. And so I became really an expert at doing that, understanding all the ins and outs. I had my backup, I had my mentor who was helping me out. And then I was able to talk to my friends and family and say, hey, I want to buy properties at tax deed auctions. I need some backing. Would you be interested? And back then I was offering people a 50-50 split. So we would do it together. I would find the property, do the work, they would get 50%. I wouldn't make any interest payments or things like that. We just split the profits. That was a nice way to build the business. And as I built my experience base, and as other people who weren't friends and family started seeing what I was doing, they got interested and they said, hey, if you have more deals, I'd be interested in investing. And so naturally, as the demand for what I knew and had a proven track record of went up, the amounts that I gave to my investors went down. And it got to the point where I didn't offer investors any equity. Instead, I offered them a return on their invested money. And the return came when the property was sold. So instead of giving away half the deal, maybe I was giving away 10% of the deal, and some will get that in interest. And the way that it worked is I became an expert and a demonstrable expert. And what I would do when I had a new potential investor who was interested, I would take them to my projects. I would say, here's a place that is under renovation. Here's what we're doing here. Here's a place I finished renovation that's up for sale. Here's a place I just bought, and here's what our plan is for it. And as people start to see those physical assets, the to be fixed up, the fixed up, the in the middle of being fixed up, as people started seeing it, they're like, oh, okay, Bob knows what he's doing. I'd be interested in getting involved. And that's actually, interesting enough, how I ended up in the education business, believe it or not. Because I got so many people asking about how to do it, and I liked it so much that I said, you know what? I could have a separate business here teaching people how to do this, and I'll just teach people out of my area. So I started teaching people who weren't in my competitive area, and they started paying me for it. I loved it because I loved the teaching. I loved spreading the information. And, it was pretty easy because I just did the teaching. So the point is for you to start a business with low investment, think about what skills you have that you could sell. So I think that fits in like the Fiverr and the Upwork, where you can do bookkeeping, you can do illustrations, you can write a song, you can do copywriting. You're willing to make calls for people, you're willing to do administrative assistant work. If you look on Upwork and Fiverr, you see many, many things that you could do. You could offer those as a service, and that's just you being a person worthy of getting that money. And then do the service with excellence, because you get reviews, and the better reviews are, the more you're worth as a contractor, and you can build a nice little business out of it. Also build your learning. If you want to learn like the print-on-demand business, there are lots of people who teach that. Rachel Roffet is a friend of mine who teaches the print-on-demand business. You can look her name up. Her courses are great. She really teaches how to do it. You could look up Rachel and do her business. She sets you up with the print-on-demand people and gives you advice on how to figure out what to be printing and what to advertise. Does a great job. So educate yourself, and then you're a person that's worthy of receiving that money. Or you can do what I did, which is build a big expertise in something that really calls to you. I liked the idea of fixing up houses. It was tangible and interesting to me. And so then I went and I paid someone to teach me the business. Now that was not no investment. I learned that back in 1988. I entered a coaching program of a guy. I spent $7,500 for it, which was an enormous amount of money. At the time, I was making $30,000 a year, so you can imagine that's a big investment. But that investment paid off in the first property that I bought. First property I bought, I made over $9,000 on it, and I'd only invested $7,500 in the coaching program. And I was like, wow, that's a big sigh of relief. And now my family can stop laughing at me over this investment I made, because I'm actually making money. And you become the person that's worthy of having and receiving that money by being the person that knows things that other people don't know, that really develops an expertise and proves your expertise by doing it. That's really the proof. And from there, really the whole world is something you can do. And once you have a reputation for following through and for doing good for your investors, then they all come to you. You can then, if you like teaching like I do, I still do my business. I'm in a business these days that's related to foreclosures called Overages. So I do that business because I love that business, and it keeps me sharp. I know that business inside out. And I also teach it because, frankly, there are thousands of properties sold at tax sale every day. I can't get to all those extra monies that are generated, which is overages. And so I teach other people and say, you know what, there's plenty here for all of us. I make money teaching. I make great money with that. I make great money with overages. And it's really good. So more importantly for you, everybody thinks that money is the obstacle. Money is not the obstacle. There are only two things that are the obstacle. One is being the person that is worthy of receiving money because you're bringing value to other people. So that's one. So you become that person that's worthy of it. And second, follow through and do it. There's so many people that just dream their life away. And I can tell you, you don't need to dream your life away. What you need to do is be willing to take a stand, because brave people that take a stand are the ones that get the reward. So if you want to do something, just go and do it. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. Don't wait for someone to tell you it's okay. Don't wait for your family to tell you to go do it, because that's not something you can rely on. You can rely on yourself and what you do. You can control what you do. You can't control what other people do or don't do. So stop sitting there waiting for and asking for permission. If you got something you really want to do it, you really appeals to you, go and do it. As one of my favorite people in the world said, just do it. There's a guy named Jim Rohn that I think is one of the great business philosophers and leaders. And one of his things is just do it. Don't talk about it. Don't sit there. Just do it, because it's in the act of doing it, of learning, of getting active, of actually doing it, that you become that expert. You become that person that's worthy of receiving the money. If you're interested in more of what I do a business called Overages. It's a great low-cost entry business to start. Can go to the moon, go as far as you want. I teach that business, as should be obvious from this video. If you want to know more about that, just look down below. You'll see a link to my introduction video. You can watch that, or if your browser supports it, you'll see a link that appears up there. You can click on that if you want to. That's a good business for starters, very low investment. I think it's a good one. It's a good business if you like helping people and making money. If you click on the link, you'll see another video on YouTube. It's about 10 minutes long. It's not long, where I just take you through the basics of that business. And if you want to go further, you can go further from there, and the instructions are in that video. Whatever you decide to do, the one thing I want to just leave you with desperately, don't wait for someone to give you permission. Go start investigating, start trying, start doing, and the world is truly your oyster. Opportunities out there for all of us, but only for the people who take action. So you take action today, and the future that you want can truly be yours in a faster time than you think. This is Attorney Bob Diamond. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. I'll do more videos like this. If you have questions or comments, put them down below. I'll do my best to get to them and answer them. And if you like this, subscribe to the channel. I'm always talking about entrepreneurship and ways to make money, valuable services to bring. That's what fascinates me and interests me in my business life. So hopefully I can share useful things with you. And go check out the Intro to Overages video. I think you're really going to like it. And if nothing else, you'll spend 10 minutes learning something interesting, but you may find exactly how you want to make your future. This is Attorney Bob Diamond, over and out for now.